Chapter 1121. In Yaishan Valley, David knew that after this kind of thing was published on the forum, it would definitely be blocked in a short time, but the result he wanted had already been achieved. Now that the issue of the island country killer has been resolved, David doesn't need to hide and practice in Yaishan Valley. Seeing that it is not long before the Chinese New Year, David intends to rescue Sonia and his mother before the Chinese New Year. Let's have a reunion year together, but in order to save Sonia and his mother, David knows that his strength must reach the realm of half-step Wuhao or even Wuhao. Whether it is the Long family or the martial arts alliance, it is not so easy to break in. David planned to go to Zishuan. Gu Kaiwan's pagoda of demon suppression was a good thing. Cultivation in it could get twice the result with half the effort, so David went to the pagoda to stay in the pagoda for a while. However, after leaving Yaishan Valley, David received a call from Zhao Waoqi, so he went to the Dharma Protector Pavilion. Mr. Chen, you turned the 5 island warriors into human sticks this time, the impact is too bad. Mr. Shi is a little unhappy, he asked me to tell you. I hope you can restrain yourself, and let me tell you, Mu Shiu Yu Linfen will destroy it. Zhao Waoqi whispered to David. David smiled lightly. I know. How can David not know the truth that Mu Shiu will be destroyed by Lin Feng? But even if David is restrained and low-key now, no one will let him go. What's more, Sonia is still in the hands of the Martial Arts Alliance. Even if she knows it, she can't do it with the Martial Arts Alliance. The Martial Arts Alliance will not admit that they have taken Sonia. Do you allow yourself to reason with the Martial Arts Alliance? What are you kidding? Now that he has stood on the opposite side, David will not be restraining, he just wants to let everyone know and provoke his own fate. After leaving the law enforcement pavilion, David took a taxi and was about to go to the airport and take a plane to Zishuan. When the car was driving on a remote road, David instantly felt a breath lock on him. This breath is very domineering, and a person who can emit such a breath must have the strength to reach the peak of Wuzong, or even higher. Master driver, stop, I'll get off here. David told the taxi driver to stop. Sir, it's still some distance from the airport. The driver looked at David in confusion. I'll get off here. David threw 100 yuan bill to the driver, then opened the door and walked out. The driver took the money, looked at David who had gotten off the bus, and shook his head slightly. What a weirdo. The taxi left, and David slowly walked towards a forest by the road. It's late autumn now, and the leaves on the trees are about to fall. In front of David, a figure appeared. The man turned his back to David and his hands behind his back, as if waiting for someone. I didn't expect your methods to be crueler than mine. If you don't fight against the Martial Arts Alliance, maybe you will become the head of the younger generation in Kyoto in the future. The figure slowly turned around. The murderous aura on his body burst out, and the surrounding trees trembled slightly. Guo Wei, are you here to kill me? David looked at Guo Wei who turned around and asked lightly. Yes, if you stay, you will be a formidable enemy of the Martial Arts Alliance in the future, so you must die now. Guo Wei said coldly. You can't kill me at all, but if you take away my girlfriend, I will cut off your head to comfort my girlfriend for her suffering. David looked at Guo Wei coldly, and his murderous aura began to rise. Ha ha ha! Guo Wei raised his head and laughed, and the surrounding trees were broken. Chapter 1122. Guo Wei's laughter was full of disdain and contempt. Now there are only the two of them here, and Guo Wei has a way to kill David. David looked at Guo Wei who was laughing, murderous aura in his eyes. After a while, you won't be able to laugh anymore. David's body began to flicker with golden light, the undamaged golden body activated, and pieces of golden scales formed an armor covering David's body. This time, the breath on David's body was not manic, but like a trickling stream, endless. Guo Wei frowned slightly upon seeing this. David's breath at the moment made him feel a hint of danger. How long has it been? When facing David, he felt a sense of danger. This made Guo Wei frantic inside. Facing David, who had activated the indestructible golden body, Guo Wei put away the contempt in his eyes, and then a mark began to flash on his chest. The rays of light around Guo Wei became more and more intense, and soon wrapped Guo Wei. The endless black air covered the sky, turning their area hundreds of meters into darkness. David narrowed his eyes. Today, I will kill you, an evil cultivator, and make your head public, so that everyone will know that you, the director of the Martial Arts Alliance, are actually an evil cultivator. Stop talking big, the person who died must be you. Guo Wei grabbed it casually, and the surrounding black mist instantly formed a huge black ball in Guo Wei's hand. Immediately after a light tap, the huge black ball slowly moved towards David at a particularly slow speed. David faced the slowly approaching black ball and wanted to dodge, but found that the surrounding black mist had a heavy sense of restraint, like soaking in water, and the movement was very resistant. David's dodging movements also slowed down, but in the end he still couldn't dodge the huge black ball and was trapped in the black ball. Here, all your movement and speed will be limited, and I will not. Guo Wei smiled coldly, and then his body disappeared instantly. Guo Wei's speed was very fast. He came to David in the blink of an eye, and then his right hand suddenly pulled out of the black mist, and a long sword transformed by the black mist appeared in Guo Wei's hand. Guo Wei held up the long sword in his hand. The long sword continuously absorbed the surrounding black mist, and the sword body skyrocketed, reaching more than 10 meters in an instant. The long sword was raised high, and then slashed down at David. The domineering sword chi instantly blocked David's retreat. David's body suddenly flashed, but David's movements, in Guo Wei's eyes, were like slow motion. You can't escape. Guo Wei slashed with this sword, and the entire void began to distort, and bursts of air-breaking sounds were heard. Boom! The long sword was drawn down from David's body, followed by a string of firelights. David's undamaged golden body was damaged, and where the long sword slashed, the golden scales disappeared, revealing firm skin. A divine dragon's power condensed in David's right hand, and a bright white light dispelled some of the surrounding black mist. There is a ray of light in the dark environment. Boom! David smashed it out with a punch. This punch was extremely domineering, and its power was extremely terrifying. Like a meteor streaking across the night, this punch slammed into the long sword in Guo Wei's hand. The long sword in Guo Wei's hand was originally the illusion of these black mists. After touching the white light with David's punch, the long sword disappeared immediately, and the black mist was instantly dispersed. Feeling the terrifying breath, Guo Wei's body instantly retreated a few steps. At this moment, the expression on Guo Wei's face is very complicated. These black mists are the killer he relies on. In the competition arena, Guo Wei would rather burn his blood essence and dare not reveal that he has practiced evil arts, otherwise he will not be able to end the game. Chapter 1123. Today, there are only him and David, and Guo Wei has no scruples. Your evil art is useless to me. If this is your trump card, then you will surely die. David said coldly. Then try it. Guo Wei was furious, and then his hands quickly slid in the air, and the surrounding black mist seemed to be galloping, and began to gather together, constantly changing. Soon, the black mist turned into a wild beast, roaring with claws and claws. The mark on Guo Wei's chest suddenly wafted out a drop of blood essence, and then slowly the drop of blood essence dripped onto the beast's eyebrows, and the blood essence was instantly absorbed into it. David, you underestimate the technique of evil cultivation. If the technique of evil cultivation is so unbearable, how can I spell out my future cultivation? Guo Wei said, his fingers twitched, and the four disliked beasts roared and rushed towards David. Roar! The beast came to David at an unparalleled speed, and David seemed very insignificant in front of this beast. When David saw this, he didn't panic. The power of the dragon broke out, and he swung out with a punch. However, David's punch hit the beast as if it was empty, and David personally seemed to be sucked by a huge suction force, and he entered the body of the beast at once. David's body disappeared into the darkness, the beast roared, and his body began to emit light. David, who fell into the darkness, felt his eyes light up, followed by incomparably hot. This heat is hundreds of times stronger than sunlight, and it seems to melt David's entire body. Seeing this scene, Guo Wei showed a smile on his face. It's still too tender. Although David's strength is very strong, after all, he is young and lacks combat experience. He didn't see the true power of Guo Wei's black fog at all. Guo Wei took out his mobile phone and called Zhu Zishan. How did you kill that David? On the opposite side, Zhu Zishan asked. 3 minutes, 3 minutes later, then David will turn into a pool of thick water. Guo Wei's face was full of self-confidence. You used evil power. Zhu Zishan frowned slightly, no one else saw it. Don't worry, Alliance leader, there are no other people, even if there are others, they will all be dead. Guo Wei's eyes flashed with murderous intent. At this time, if someone nearby sees it, he will shoot without hesitation, regardless of who the other party is. Fortunately, David let the taxi driver leave, otherwise the taxi driver would be in trouble. That's good. As soon as David dies, I can rest assured. Keeping this guy is always a scourge. Zhu Zishan breathed a sigh of relief and hung up the phone. Just after hanging up the phone, the beast that was transformed by the black mist suddenly struggled from a distance, and then the body began to shrink rapidly. A golden light burst out from the beast's body. What's the matter? Guo Wei's expression changed immediately upon seeing this. The beast is still struggling at a distance, and its body is getting smaller and smaller. Guo Wei hurriedly threw out a drop of blood essence, but it fell on the beast, but nothing changed. In just 10 seconds, the beast transformed by the black mist disappeared completely, all the black mist disappeared, and the sun shone on this land again. David stood in front of Guo Wei with a contented face, and said jokingly, "Thank you so much for sending me such good training resources." Guo Wei suddenly felt cold all over his body, and cold sweat broke out from his forehead. You. Guo Wei pointed at David, not knowing what to say. At this moment, David is full of power, and his Danshan is full of spiritual power. This Guo Wei originally wanted to kill David with evil power, but he didn't want these black mists to become David's cultivation resources. Chapter 1124. Go to H3LL. David's body disappeared instantly, and then he came to Guo Wei. Magic body protection. Guo Wei shouted angrily, and then the mark on his chest began to flash continuously, and Guo Wei's body became very hard in an instant. Bang! David punched Guo Wei hard in the chest. Guo Wei's body flew out in an instant, his hard body cracked, and the mark on his chest began to dim. How can it be? Guo Wei's body fell heavily to the ground, blood spilling from the corner of his mouth. He couldn't believe that David could beat himself with such contempt now. You must know that a few months ago, in Guo Wei's eyes, David was not even an ant, and he didn't even bother to look at David. What else do you have? David looked at Guo Wei coldly, his body exuding fierce killing intent. Guo Wei felt the killing intent of David, and he knew that he could only follow David's desperate path. Boy, you and I must die today, but you are the first young man who can force me to this level. Guo Wei said. He slowly raised his hands and said something in his mouth. Then Guo Wei's face became hideous, and his facial features were twisted together. The mark on the chest emitted a ray of light, and the ray of light instantly spread to Guo Wei's whole body. Guo Wei's blood vessels were bulging, and the blue veins on his forehead were bulging. Slowly, Guo Wei's whole body seemed to become transparent, the blood vessels were clearly visible, and even the flow of blood could be seen. Soon, the blood vessels on Guo Wei's body could not be seen, only the faint outline remained. Invisibility. David frowned slightly as he looked at Guo Wei, who was slowly disappearing. David hurriedly swiped his palms towards the air, and a breath visible to the naked eye directly enveloped the surroundings. David was afraid that Guo Wei would use stealth to escape. This stealth technique is different from the ninjutsu of those island warriors. The ninjutsu of island warriors is, to put it bluntly, a blindfold. The real invisibility technique is to integrate the body with the heaven and the earth, and even hide the breath without revealing any flaws. Do you think I'll run away? At this time, Guo Wei's voice sounded in David's ear, you underestimate me too much, I won't leave if I don't kill you. I said, you can't kill me with this skill. Although David could no longer see where Guo Wei was, he did not panic. Although Guo Wei's body disappeared, Guo Wei's breath was still there. As long as Guo Wei makes a move, he will definitely reveal his breath, unless he never makes a move against David, but if he doesn't make a move, how could he kill David? Arrogant, then I'll show you my real trump card, even if I can't kill you, but I can kill you. Guo Wei said it, and suddenly he slammed a punch at David. David felt that Guo Wei's breath was coming from the side, so he punched him. Boom! The ground shook for a while, and Guo Wei's body was faintly revealed, but then disappeared again. Bang bang bang! Guo Wei began to attack David continuously. David could accurately meet Guo Wei's fist. Are you trying to use this method to exhaust the energy in my body? David sneered, if so, then you are very wrong, my energy is very full, but you are already the end of the crossbow. With every punch, David could feel Guo Wei's strength weakening. Ha ha ha, my energy is as vast as the sea, and everything in the world is used by me. Guo Wei laughed, and then saw the surrounding trees begin to shake. Immediately afterwards, countless crystal-clear rays of light flew out from the trees and converged on Guo Wei's body. Chapter 1125. Within a radius of hundreds of meters, no trees or living creatures can escape. On the ground, animals began to die rapidly, and the corpses became shriveled. If there are people around here, it will be the same fate. This is the horror of evil. As the rays of light entered the body, Guo Wei's body slowly revealed, and the energy in the body also recovered instantly, even more filling than before. These evil arts are really not good things. David watched the surrounding animals and plants lose their vitality, and narrowed his eyes slightly. It's not for you, but for me, it's a supreme feat. After Guo Wei finished speaking, he suddenly slapped David with a palm. A terrifying force came from the sky and covered the sky and directly enveloped David. The energy in Guo Wei's body is like a vast ocean, endless. One after another, the strength was like a knife, hitting David continuously. The golden light of David's body is dim, and the golden body is almost collapsed. If the golden body is not broken, David can only rely on his physical body to carry it. Seeing David's embarrassed appearance, Guo Wei laughed excitedly. Ha ha ha, David, I know your body is extremely hard, but I have a way to deal with you. After Guo Wei finished speaking, he drew a circle with his hands in front of his chest, and then there was a ripple in the surrounding space. Two tentacles suddenly stretched out from the ground, and quickly controlled David's legs. The rippled space in front of Guo Wei began to shroud David. You can't be hard, then let's be soft. Do you think I, the director of the Alliance, have gained a false reputation? Let me tell you, in the realm of the Peak of Wuzong, few people's techniques are my opponents. Guo Wei looked at David with a sneer. If there is no real ability, how can you sit on the position of the Alliance director? David struggled desperately, but he couldn't escape the pair of tentacles, and a strange force was constantly eroding David's body. This force is very soft, and it is not a head-to-head encounter with David, so David's indestructible golden body is difficult to resist this force. You're confident? David looked at Guo Wei, suddenly folded his hands, and then chanted words in his mouth, and a series of magic tricks came out of David's mouth. Withered trees still reappear in spring. After David finished speaking, a force of peace instantly descended from the sky, and the withered trees around them were instantly rejuvenated. Countless branches are growing rapidly, and then they reach Guo Wei. Seeing this, Guo Wei hurriedly shot out a few palms, breaking a few branches, but more branches wrapped around Guo Wei's body. Guo Wei was bound, the tentacles that controlled David disappeared instantly, and the rippled space slowly disappeared. Guo Wei blushed and struggled desperately, trying to break free of these branches. With his strength, how could these rotten wood trap him? But no matter how hard Guo Wei tried, he was firmly controlled by those branches and couldn't break free. David waved his hand, and those branches instantly sent Guo Wei to David. "I forgot to tell you, I also have some spells." David looked at Guo Wei, who was being controlled, and said coldly. Guo Wei was really panicked at the moment, and his eyes became very flustered. "David, what do you want? If you really kill me, you will follow the martial arts alliance forever." Guo Wei was frightened and began to beg for mercy, "But as long as you don't kill me, I can persuade alliance leader Zhu to let go of your girlfriend. From now on, the martial arts alliance will never trouble you. What have you been doing? Now that you know you are going to die, you are begging me again." David said, slowly raised his hand, and golden light radiated from his palm. "What do you want to do? I can teach you all my magic, as long as you are willing to let me go." Feeling the killing intent on David's body, Guo Wei was frightened. Thinking of how David treated the 5 island warriors, Guo Wei was even more afraid. Maybe death is not terrible, but there are many things more terrible than death. Chapter 1126. You rubbish evil art, I don't like it. David narrowed his eyes sharp and cold. "You said, what do you want? I can give you." Guo Wei's heart was full of fear. David slowly looked at Guo Wei's chest, and suddenly smiled coldly, "I want the danshan in your body." After David's words, Guo Wei's eyes suddenly showed panic. This danshan is the source of the martial artist's strength. Without the danshan, he would be completely useless. The cultivator's danshan is broken and can be restored by training, but the martial artist cannot. Now that David wants Guo Wei's danshan, doesn't this mean that Guo Wei will be made a waste? In this case, it would make him more uncomfortable than killing Guo Wei. The director of the Dignified Martial Arts Alliance has become a waste person. How will Guo Wei face those sect families in the future? Please, except for danshan, Guo Wei begged David, but before he finished speaking, David threw a punch. Boom! David smashed Guo Wei's chest with this punch, and the entire fist entered Guo Wei's body. The fierce power penetrated Guo Wei's body protection magic. Click! With a slight cracking sound, Guo Wei's expression froze, and his body declined rapidly. David's punch directly smashed Guo Wei's danshan. All of Guo Wei's energy disappeared without a trace at this moment, and he was reduced to a useless person. You actually broke my danshan." Guo Wei's face was ashen. At this time, David took his hand out of Guo Wei's stomach, his hands were stained with blood, and with a gentle wave of his hand, all the branches that bound Guo Wei disappeared. Guo Wei's body fell to the ground with a thud, the breath on his body was rapidly draining, and blood continued to ooze from the wound on his chest. Guo Wei wanted to get up, but after several attempts, he didn't even have the strength to get up. Kill me! Guo Wei doesn't want to live anymore. His danshan has been shattered, and he has become a crippled person, and his life is meaningless. The reason why Guo Wei practiced evil arts is that he has a desire for strength. For many warriors, they only have strength in their minds. Now that Guo Wei has become a waste all of a sudden, it is difficult for him to accept it for a while. Kill you. David looked at Guo Wei coldly, "Isn't it cheaper to kill you like this? What about your lofty attitude before? When you caught my girlfriend, did you ever think about your own fate? You kneel in front of me now, and I may be able to make your death a little more pleasant." Guo Wei glared at David, "You are dreaming, even if I become a cripple now, you are not worthy. You can kill me, but I will never kneel down for you. After Guo Wei finished speaking, he opened his mouth and bit his tongue. He was going to bite his tongue and kill himself, because he knew that he had no hope of living, and living was already torture for him. Want to commit suicide? David slapped Guo Wei's face fiercely. Guo Wei's teeth all fell out, and it was impossible for him to bite his tongue and commit suicide. Kill me, kill me. Guo Wei saw that he could not commit suicide, so he shouted desperately. I said, I won't let you die so easily. David grabbed Guo Wei's hair with one hand, kneel down. If you dream, I will never kneel down for you. Guo Wei said fiercely. David picked up Guo Wei directly, to me now, there is no difference between following the ants, you have no right to reject me. After David finished speaking, he directly kicked Guo Wei's calf twice. With two crisp sounds, Guo Wei fell to his knees. Guo Wei still wanted to struggle, but he couldn't break free at all. Jingle bell. At this moment, Guo Wei's cell phone rang. Chapter 1127. David picked up Guo Wei's mobile phone and found that it was Zhu Zishan calling. David gently pressed the answer button, and Zhu Zishan's impatient question immediately came from the opposite side, Guo Wei, how is it? If you don't say 3 minutes, David will turn into a pool of blood. I'm sorry, I'm going to disappoint you. David responded in a playful tone. The opposite side was obviously stunned. After a while, Zhu Zishan's gloomy voice came, David, what about Guo Wei? What happened to him? Don't worry, he's fine, you'll see him soon. After David finished speaking, with a slight force on his hand, the phone turned into powder. Immediately afterwards, David took out his mobile phone and recorded Guo Wei kneeling on the ground and being humiliated by his hair. Kill me, kill me! Guo Wei roared, he knew what David was going to do. Don't worry, I will definitely kill you, but before killing you, I want everyone to see how embarrassed you are, the director of the alliance. David grabbed Guo Wei's hair with one hand and started recording with the other. Guo Wei struggled desperately and didn't want to face the camera, but he couldn't break free at all. Sonia, all those who hurt you, I will make them pay the price, and I will definitely rescue you. Tell David, just twist it with your hand. Click. Guo Wei's head was twisted off by David. Guo Wei's eyes were wide open, and he couldn't close his eyes. In the Martial Arts Alliance, Zhu Zishan slammed the phone on the ground, and the phone was shattered. He never imagined that Guo Wei was no longer David's opponent. Guo Wei's ability, he is very clear, especially the evil skills that Guo Wei cultivates. Even if he is at the peak of Wuzong, Guo Wei can be regarded as a leader. Now that he has been defeated by David, how is this possible? Leader, David is here. Just when Zhu Zishan was angry, someone suddenly ran in to report. Zhu Zishan was stunned for a moment, then frowned, what is he here for? Leader, then David said it was a gift for the leader. Said the man who ran in. Gifts. Zhu Zishan was a little stunned, and didn't understand what medicine was sold in David's gourd. After a moment of contemplation, Zhu Zishan walked towards the hall. When I came to the lobby, Zhu Zishan saw David carrying a wooden box and sitting on a chair with a calm expression on his face. Zhu Zishan looked at David and said slowly, David, where's Guo Wei? David threw the wooden box in his hand towards Zhu Zishan. Zhu Zishan took the wooden box and opened it. A bloody smell came out. When Zhu Zishan saw that the wooden box contained Guo Wei's head, he was furious. He never imagined that David would dare to kill Guo Wei. In any case, Guo Wei is also the director of the Martial Arts Alliance. David killed Guo Wei, but he completely tore his face with the Martial Arts Alliance. You dare to kill Guo Wei? Zhu Zishan pointed at David and roared. He is just the beginning. In the future more people will die in your martial arts alliance. David looked at the furious Zhu Zishan coldly. You are so courageous. You killed Guo Wei and dared to come to my martial arts alliance to be wild. Today I will let you know that my martial arts alliance is not a place where you can be wild. After all, the breath of Zhu Zishan began to soar rapidly. One after another terrifying coercion shrouded David. Whoa, whoa! The chair under David instantly turned into powder, and David's body seemed to be suppressed by a mountain. David's forehead burst with blue veins, and he gritted his teeth, resisting this coercion. Zhu Zishan's strength is far higher than David's, and David can't bear it just because of this coercive trend. But there was no trace of fear on David's face. Chapter 1128. Soon, Zhu Zishan retracted that coercive force, and David breathed a sigh of relief. It's not that Zhu Zishan didn't want to kill David, but that there was Mr. Shi behind David, and Zhu Zishan didn't dare to do it. He can let others do it, but he will never risk his own future. David smiled coldly at Zhu Zishan, his eyes full of provocation. He guessed right, Zhu Zishan would not kill himself. Boy, if I don't kill you, it doesn't mean no one will kill you, you have already driven yourself into a dead end. Zhu Zishan narrowed his eyes and gritted his teeth. Since you don't dare to do it, don't talk nonsense. After David finished speaking, he turned and walked out. Looking at the back of David leaving, Zhu Zishan almost died of anger, grabbing Guo Wei's head and pinching it instantly. I'll make you die ugly. After Zhu Zishan finished speaking, he took out his mobile phone and dialed a number. Guo Wei is dead, and the video shot by David has already gone viral on the martial arts forum. Although many people think that David is courting death, but David has uploaded 2 videos in a row, which has also allowed him to gain a group of fans. Not all people in the martial arts world like the approach of the Kyoto Martial Arts Alliance. Relying on its status, the Kyoto Martial Arts Alliance often suppresses the martial arts alliances in other places, and for many sect families, they put forward harsh requirements to enter the martial arts alliance for the sake of profit. This approach has long betrayed the original intention of establishing the martial arts alliance, but many people dare not speak out. This time, David actually made the mighty director of the Kyoto Martial Arts Alliance kneel on the ground, which also made many people secretly breathe a sigh of relief. David is really awesome. Not only did Guo Wei kneel on the ground, he even killed Guo Wei. This David is too good, I don't know if he will accept apprentices. I think this David is now able to rank on the free list. Are you looking for death upstairs? Dare to mention the 3 words free and easy in the martial arts forum. Killing the director of the martial arts alliance, this David will definitely not live long, and I don't think it's useless to be on the list. David's reputation has begun to rise in the martial arts world. And the above-mentioned free and easy list is a hidden ranking in the martial arts world. This list is full of young people, and then arranged by many netizens according to each person's record. It's just that this list is not recognized by the martial arts world and officials, because if this list is recognized, there will be many young people fighting for the so-called ranking. Whether it is the martial arts world or the official, they all want a harmonious cultivation environment. Although this list is not recognized, many young martial artists highly respect this list. It's just that David didn't know the existence of this list, and he didn't even know it, because the video of killing Guo Wei attracted many people's attention. Mobei Luo family. Luo Xiang, the eldest young master of the Luo family, is sitting in the courtyard. Although Luo Xiang is only 27 years old, he has already reached the peak of Wu Zong's strength, and now he is also showing signs of breaking through the half-step Wu Hao. This Luo Xiang only ranks 5th on the free and easy list, which shows how terrifying the strength of the number 1 on the free and easy list. Long Xiao, who is known as the most talented of the younger generation in Kyoto, is only 10th on the happy list. As the capital of Daxia, Kyoto is naturally much better than other places in terms of environment and resources. However, it is precisely because of this superior environment that many young people are arrogant, so many young people in the Kyoto martial arts world are not practicing hard enough. On the other hand, in some places with difficult conditions, many people have been practicing for more than 10 years, and their strength has grown rapidly. Chapter 1129. Master, the younger generation in Kyoto, a strong man appeared, and even Guo Wei, the director of the Kyoto Martial Arts Alliance, was killed. At this time, a servant came over with a mobile phone. That Guo Wei is just vain, I can kill him too. Luo Xiang said casually. In his eyes, the people of the Martial Arts Alliance are just trying to make a name for themselves, and they have no real ability. Master, this person not only killed Guo Wei, but even twisted Guo Wei's head off and sent it directly to the Kyoto Martial Arts Alliance. The next person's words immediately made Luo Xiang interested. Damn it, there's such a thing? It seems that this kid is interesting. Luo Xiang sat up straight. What's this kid called? Where is he from? Master Hui, this person is called David. I heard that he is from Horindal, Jiangbei. The next man replied. Jiangbei Horindal. Luo Xiang frowned slightly. I haven't heard of any masters in that place, let alone the masters of the younger generation. Master, this David has only recently emerged. He just defeated Long Xiao of the Jing Long family some time ago. Now many people in the martial arts forum are discussing that this David's current strength may be ranked in the top of the free list. 5. Ha ha ha, the top 5 in the happy ranking? Does that mean the strength surpasses me? It's just a Fkyoking F.Art, it seems that I have time to know this David. Luo Xiang laughed, but there was a chill in his eyes. Luo Xiang has always been unsatisfied with the 5th position on the free and easy list, but now a David suddenly appears, and his position is higher than himself. How could Luo Xiang agree? Master, you don't need to be angry, it's just some random discussion on the forum. How can David's strength surpass you, Master? The servant had followed Luo Xiang for many years, and knew that Luo Xiang was already angry at this moment. Hearing the servant's flattery, Luo Xiang put away the cold light in his eyes, and then asked, did I order the people sent to Zishuan to come back? That Gu Kaiwan is still stubborn and refuses to submit to my Luo family. Master, I was just about to report this to you. The Gu family manor has been in ruins, and Gu Kaiwan's life and death are unknown, but above the ruins of the Gu family, a group of people of unknown origin have already occupied that place. The servants reported in a low voice. What, there is such a thing? Luo Xiang frowned. Mobei and Zishuan are adjacent to each other, and the Luo family has always planned to annex the Gu family, so they have been sending people to lobby Gu Kaiwan and submit to the Luo family. Now that the Gu family was suddenly taken first by others, Luo Xiang felt a little surprised. After all, in the northwest, there are not many people who can destroy the Gu family, not to mention that the Gu family's guardian formation is very powerful, otherwise the Luo family would have already annexed the Gu family by force. Go and assemble the staff immediately, and follow me to Zishuan to see. Luo Xiang went to see who was the one who could destroy the Gu family and occupy the Gu family's territory. Nishikawa Valley family. Under the magic tower in Gujia town, several Wuzongs were guarding it. In a short period of 10 days, the ruins of Gu's house had already been cleaned up and construction began again. Inside the demon suppression tower, Ningji sat in it, and a tyrannical aura surrounded Ningji. Ningji's face was crazy, his face was full of pride. He really did not expect that he would break through to the peak of Wuzong in such a short period of time. He feels that he has only been in for more than 10 hours, but he has made such rapid progress. Ha ha ha, this is really a good thing. If I practice for a while, I will be able to step into the realm of half-step Marquis, or even Marquis. At that time, the entire Kyoto Martial Dao world will be younger. Who is my opponent? Even if it is on the free and easy list, I will have a place for Ningji. Chapter 1130. Outside the Gu family manor, Luo Xiang brought someone over. Looking at the manor that was in ruins and then rebuilt, Luo Xiang's face became very ugly. Just as Luo Xiang was about to bring someone in, he was stopped by 2 guards. Stop, who are you? It's under construction right now, you can't enter casually. A guard stopped Luo Xiang and said. Luo Xiang glanced coldly at the two guards, then turned his hands into claws and grabbed the heads of the two guards directly. The two guards didn't even have time to let out a scream, and they died on the spot, their heads burst. Luo Xiang didn't even look at the two guards who were killed, and broke in directly. At this time, Uncle Zhong brought people over. Gu Kaiwan died, and Uncle Zhong had been loyal to Ning Ji and became a lackey of the Ning family. But when Uncle Zhong saw Luo Xiang, he was stunned, and then his face became very ugly. When Luo Xiang saw Uncle Zhong, he was slightly taken aback and said, Uncle Zhong, where is your master Gu Kaiwan? Luo. Young Master Luo, why are you free to come to Zishuan? Uncle Zhong asked in a panic. Stop interrupting me, let me ask you about Gu Kaiwan. Luo Xiang's face turned cold. Uncle Zhong shuddered, looked at the two guards who had died tragically on the ground, and hurriedly replied, Master Luo, our master has been killed, and this manor has changed hands. Killed? Luo Xiang frowned, who killed it? David. Uncle Zhong didn't dare to hide it, so he told the truth. Hearing the words David, Luo Xiang was stunned. The name he just heard today, but he doesn't want to hear it again now. So, Gu Kaiwan is dead, and you have become someone else's dog. Luo Xiang's eyes narrowed slightly, I'm going to meet this guy today, dare to run here to grab the site. Uncle Zhong wanted to say something, but Luo Xiang pushed him away and led someone to rush in directly. Who, but dare to trespass? At this time, several Wuzong members of the Ning family were guarding under the demon suppression tower. When they saw someone breaking in, they immediately showed their weapons. Seeing this, Luo Xiang couldn't help but sigh, I didn't expect this guy to have some strength, and the lackeys under him are also in the realm of Wuzong. Bold, dare to be rude to me. When several Wuzong heard Luo Xiang comparing them to lackeys, they were immediately furious, waving their weapons and rushing up. Luo Xiang waved his palms, and an incomparably domineering force formed an air wave, which directly knocked several martial arts masters to the ground. Just when Luo Xiang was about to do something, a figure suddenly rushed out of the demon suppression tower. Immediately afterwards, several sounds of breaking through the air sounded, and one after another, the energy visible to the naked eye shrouded directly towards Luo Xiang. Humph, even at the peak of Wuzong, you dare to be arrogant in front of me. Luo Xiang snorted coldly, and then shot a few bursts of energy, instantly dispelling the attack. Master! Seeing that Ning Ji came out of the demon suppression tower, several experts from the Ning family hurriedly shouted. Luo Xiang looked at Ning Ji, then asked coldly, Are you David? Luo Xiang had never seen David or watched David's videos on the martial arts forum, so he did not know David and mistook Ning Ji for David. Ning Ji was stunned for a moment. Before opening his mouth to explain, Uncle Zhong hurriedly stepped forward, Young Master Luo, you misunderstood, this is the eldest young master of the Ning family in Jingjing, and the rebuilding of the Gu family manor is also the order of the young master Ning. Ning's family in Kyoto. Luo Xiang's expression changed instantly when he heard this. He didn't know Ning Ji, but the Ning family in Kyoto had heard of it. They were in Kyoto, but they didn't join the martial arts alliance in Kyoto. It could be seen that the Ning family had a lot of power in the capital. Who is he? Ning Ji looked at Uncle Zhong and asked. Master Ning, this is Luo Xiang from the Luo family in Mobei, Mr. Luo. Zongbo introduced. Luo Xiang? That existence that ranks 5th on the free and easy list. Ning Ji looked at Luo Xiang, no wonder the strength is good, and the anger is also very strong.